Thanks for staying with us. It's time to go to the press and lift off the press what the headlines are. Joining us this morning to discuss these issues is Mr. Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. Good morning and welcome to the show, Mr. Kolawole.
Good morning, my brother. Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's go to the papers now and see what is being said. We'll start with the Business NG this morning. Business NG leads with 1.3 trillion naira at risk as more companies move to exit NGX. NGX, that's so I don't know what your comments are. More companies want to exit the NGX. And what does that say to the Nigerian economy?
Can you repeat that again? I didn't get it.
1.3 trillion naira at risk as more companies move to exit NGX. More companies want to leave NGX, and we don't know how that will impact on our economy. Did you get me?
No, I didn't quite get you. I didn't quite get you.
More companies are trying to exit the NGX. So we might be losing 1.3 trillion naira.
They might be losing 3 trillion naira.
We might be losing, the economy might be losing 1.3 trillion naira. The headline here is saying 1.3 trillion naira at risk as more companies move to exit NGX.
Oh, thank you. I can get it now.
The Nigerian exchange.
It's still a sign that the economy is still not looking good. Because if the economy is looking good, ordinarily companies moving out of the NGX. As the Nigerian Stock Exchange, the stock exchange is the backbone of any economy. If your stock exchange is doing well, it means that the economy is doing well. But if more and more companies are dropping out of the NGS and what have you, it speaks volume that the economy there is still a lot of problems, and that the improvement that we expect, we are still not getting it. It's just like companies moving out of the country. When a company moves out of the country to another more hospitable environment and all that, it is the economy that loses. You wouldn't expect the company to be moving out of the Nigerian Stock Exchange if they are doing very well. They do that maybe because they are unable to pay dividends to their shareholders, or less and less people not investing in them, or the cost of being in the stock exchange doesn't match their productivity. So whichever way you look at it, it's not good. It's not a good business outlook. It is not a good business economic outlook for the country.
Well, everywhere scattered on the Business NG, we are seeing how the stock exchange market is doing. Nigerian stock declines by 152 billion as investors book profits. NGX ends bullish streak. Market declines by 152 billion. That's there. And but we also have that FX reserves gain $592 million after $2.2 billion Eurobond auction. So it seems like you said there is a problem and all. When we leave the market, still on Business NG, we have a report here that I'm sure will be on other newspapers as well. APC refutes Obi's threat allegation, demands apology. Remember that the publicity secretary of APC or so, Felix Moka, made a statement in a sister TV station a few days ago and said that the opposition figure, Peter Obi, who was the Labour Party candidate in the last presidential election, has crossed the line, and that he's going to get what is coming to him, or he deserves what is coming to him. Whatever he sees, he should take it that way. And Peter Obi came out to say, our people looked at that statement and said it was a threat to Peter Obi, and he also echoed what people were saying, He has now come out to say that he was taken out of context and that he didn't mean to threaten anybody, and that Peter Obi should go and apologize. I don't know what comment you will have for that. Obi has crossed the line. He's going to get what is coming to him, and then he's saying that it's not a threat, and he's demanding apology, or APC is demanding apology.
Well, I have been reading, even before the publications today, I've been reading some of the exchanges between Peter Obi, one of the leaders of opposition, and then the APC as a political party. You and I will also know that Warren Mokri, who is highly disposed to the government in power today, has taken it upon himself to be tackling, to be replying, to be throwing a lot of rhetoric against Peter Obi. Also remember that Peter Obi visited a renowned lady journalist, sometimes in Port Harcourt, last for 2 weeks, when the journalist criticized him that he has not been playing a robust game, or he has not been robust enough in tackling or in criticizing the government in power today. And Peter Obi took time to educate the lady. I think it's Zolu Kubara, that is the name of the lady, to educate the lady what he's been going through with respect to the position role that he has been playing and all that. Well, it is strange to me, or it's good to me, or we can consider it ridiculous for APC to be threatening Peter Obi to say that he will get what he deserves. All over the world, opposition parties will criticize the government. Just like when the APC were in opposition, when the PDP was in power, the APC was always criticizing them, saying all manners of things, which Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, a gentleman, magnanimously took without threatening anybody. So why the APC will be threatening Peter Obi today is a very, very strange comment. It doesn't show that they understand this game. The role of the opposition is to put the government on its toe, and that is what is done all over the world. Look at what Donald Trump was doing to the Democrats when the Democrats, before the last election. Look at what he was even doing to individuals. The kind of tyrant, the kind of insult Donald Trump was making against the Democrats, against senators, against even Biden, who was the sitting president. He called the man all sorts of names and all that. But heaven did not fall or collapse. Nobody threatened that we are going to deal with Mr. Trump because he was insulting the president of the U.S., Mr. Joe Biden. So I remember that Peter Obi had said on some of the things that I read that the government has been viciously attacking his businesses, his interests, his investments, and not just only him, wherever his family and relations and associates have their business interests and other interests and all that. And the present government has been attacking those business interests and all that. But he has vowed that no matter how vicious the attack from government may come, he will continue to play the role he is playing today, which is the role of an opposition politician and all that. So we have to talk to the government that they should allow the opposition to play the traditional role that they used to play. Where Mr. Peter Obi, or even the political party, the Labour Party that he represents, has engaged in rebellious activity, has defamed anybody, has libeled people, the law is always there. The party or an individual can go to court and say, look, this person, Mr. Peter Obi, has defamed us, he has libeled us, he has done this, he has done that. And the court will listen to him. That is the way things should be done. Not to begin to threaten Peter Obi and any other person for them. I have said it, and let's check the record. More people are being in prison, more people are being arrested, more people are going to jail, more people are even dying in the custody of the security forces and agencies in Nigeria today than there were more deaths during the military rule. And for me, this is not good for democracy.
Well, if we call it democracy, let us do it as a democracy should be. Okay, the next one is on the Punch newspaper. Punch newspaper is, there's a small headline there, down left corner. PDP defers as Okpebolo accuses local government chairman of 12 billion naira diversion. There's been this back and forth. Monday Okpebolo has sacked or suspended a local government chairman in Edo State. Now that he has been asked to return them and there's been an outcry from various quarters, he's now accusing them that they diverted 12 billion naira, and that is to justify what he has done. Okay, so I don't know, because I'm worried about the supposed autonomy of local governments and then what is still happening. Even the president said that the governors have control over the local government, and I'm just wondering why we're speaking from two sides of the mouth. If the local governments are independent, why do they have to report to the state assembly, the state governor, and maybe the federal government as well? Now, Pueblo has almost sacked them.
Well, even before the federal government, the Attorney General went to court on the financial autonomy for the local government, I have always said the time to count number that under the Nigerian Constitution, the local government is supposed to be independent. It's independent. The Constitution grants autonomy to the local government. Furthermore, elections to the local government chairman, being a councillor, is done through election. The governor does not have the power to dissolve the local government, to start the local government, and unpick people to go around those local governments. It is an aberration under our law. More importantly, too, lastly, the Attorney General of the Federation has gone to court, gone to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has ruled that the local government should be, is autonomous, and that the governor should stop accompanying with the activities of the local government. So why Mr. Okpebolo is still insisting on going ahead with dissolving the local government and putting his and big people in charge of those local governments, this is my imagination. But the truth of the matter is that you find out they believe. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. The belief of most governors or our politicians is that if you want to be in control, if you want to win election, you must control the local government. The local government is like their foot soldiers. And in addition to the local government, you must capture the market. You must also capture the transport union. Without you being in control of the transport union, without you being in control of the market men and women, without you being in control of the local government, you are not likely to win the next election. That is the reason why you find out most political parties, most governors are always desperate to make sure that they have total control of a local government. Of course, there is also the icing on the cake, which is the money that is in the revenue of the local government, which has become the juicy pie that the governors since 1999 have been sinking their teeth into without any modicum of accountability. The local government resources is like a milk in the mouth of the governors, which they are not ready to give up. As soon as the Supreme Court was making his ruling and order, Professor Soludo, this in a number of weekdays does he rule, went and started making a law to really kind of make it practically impossible to begin to implement the decision of the Supreme Court with regards to financial autonomy for the local government. So we still have a long way to go. I suspect we need a bipartisan approach. We need to bring in the Council of State. We need to bring in the leaders of thought into this issue of the local government so that the governors will let the local government be.
Okay, let me go to a legal matter, still on the Punch newspaper. Bottom right corner, Stampede. Orni's ex-queen, others allege illegal detention. Oyo opposes bail. The government of Oyo and the governor himself, Seyi Makinde, has said that no bail. They are going to be prosecuted. So the courts have said no bail for them. They are going to stay in detention until when the court is meeting again to determine their bail conditions and all that. I don't know how this case is classified under the law, whether it is such that it would be so difficult for you to get bail like these people are being denied, or maybe someone is trying to use this for some other points, to score some points. I don't understand what is going on. Is this case such a case that you cannot be given bail at any point in time?
Well, let me quickly say this. I sympathize with those who try to organize the palliatives for people in the face of adversity, in the face of hunger and penury that most Nigerians are facing, including Nyamgul, and then the Catholic people in Abuja who also lost some of the people they had wanted to help, and of course to the people of Okija who also lost some of the people they were out there to help. But the truth of the matter is that what happened in those places are very, very serious matters that no responsible government will close his eyes to and just allow people to walk home just like that. In Ibadan, we were told about 35 children died. In Okija, a number of people also died. In Abuja, a lot of people also died. The implications of that are so many. One, it could be said that manslaughter, if not murder, has been committed. It could be said that there has been negligence on the part of the organizer, on the part of the security forces, and also capability on the part of the government. A series of infractions have actually been committed and murder. But the most weighty aspect of this is murder and manslaughter, what took place in Ibadan, what took place in Okija, what took place in Abuja, appears to have all the ingredients of murder and manslaughter. And under our law, murder and manslaughter are ordinarily not bailable. Mark my words, murder and manslaughter are ordinarily not bailable. But there is no crime in Nigeria, so to say, that is not bailable. Everything is on the discretion of the court, of the judge that is handling the matter. If, for example, somebody has committed murder or manslaughter and murder, and the person has a very serious health challenges and murder, of course, sometimes the court will grant such a person bail. If the court is satisfied that the prison custody or the correctional center where the person might be kept will not have the facility to sustain or to treat the person or to manage the health of such a murder suspect or a manslaughter suspect. Sometimes, too, people are granted bail by the court because of their age. If a man and a woman are considered too old and are being in prison between 6 foot of 10, of course the court may want to grant them because the philosophy is this. The essence of a trial is not to begin to punish people before they actually go through the means of the trial or to kill the person who is a suspect, because at the end of the day, these people still remain suspects. The presumption of innocence is still there for them. You can put them through the trial. At the end of the day, the court may not find them guilty, and then
Mr. Kolawole, I'm just curious.
Yes,
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is the difference between this case or these cases that happened in Ibadan, Abuja, and Anambra from the case that happened when the customs were trying to sell rice at a very reduced price? Where was it 10 people died in a stampede because they wanted to buy rice at a very low price. I don't know whether they were selling it at 10 or 20,000 naira when the rice was more than 50,000 at that time. So what was the difference between these cases that just happened and that case? Because we didn't hear at all anybody being held by the government itself that organized that accountable for this.
Well, honestly speaking, in my own understanding of the law, there isn't much difference between what happened when the customs were trying to sell some confiscated rice to the public, and what happened in different places where certain persons are trying to help the poor people by giving palliatives to them. In fact, the case of that of the custom will be said to be more egregious in the sense that the custom people have the coercive power to make sure that when selling this rice and what have you, they're able to organize this in such a manner that doesn't lead to any stampede. It doesn't lead to the death of anybody. You and I know that the custom is a paramilitary force. You and I know that the customs, they carry weapons. You and I know by the nature of their training, they are supposed to be a better organized, they are in the position to organize the people better. But you see, the decision to prosecute people lies in the hands of the police in the respective states, and then also the Attorney General of the respective states. If the Attorney General of the state has looked at the facts of the case and decides that for reasons best known to him, he will not prosecute the custom officers who, through their activities, or when they were trying to sell rice to the public, some people died. But in his wisdom, decided to prosecute people who are trying to give palliatives to ordinary Nigerians to alleviate their suffering. It is within the prerogative of both the police and the Attorney General of the respective states where those things happen. But ultimately, just like you said, there isn't much difference between what happened in those places. Murder could be said to have been committed, manslaughter could be said to have been committed, and there is negligence on the part of those who try to organize those relief activities, either as customs men or as civilian or individuals in their respective communities.
Okay, well, my own is that justice should be done. Everybody who is culpable should be prosecuted in every incident that happens this way, whether it's because of negligence or anything. They should be prosecuted, but justice should be done, and not just for a select few, but for everybody, because it shouldn't be like that Nigerians will be perceiving that some people are above the law, and while others are the ones that should be subjected to the law. We should have the rule of law, and once the rule of law is implemented in this country, I think a lot of things will fall in place. Let people not perceive that government is partial, security institutions are partial and all that. And talking about that, we have security vote, or the budget for security being some of the highest allocations in our budgets for a long time now, and security seems to be dwindling, even though the government of the day is telling us that terrorism and banditry is dying out. Now even army bases are being bombed and all that. In fact, in the Daily Trust this morning, we are told that the death toll has become even higher, and a lot of soldiers are still unaccounted for after that bombing in the base. But that's matter for another day, where we'll need to discuss security and what our security agencies are doing. But right now, we have to draw the curtain, Mr. Kolawole, at this moment, and we'd like to thank you for your time this morning. Okay, we've been talking with Mr. Tunde Kolawole, a legal practitioner. We're x-raying some of the headlines on our national dailies. And we'll take a break now. When we return, we'll be talking about some discoveries in the NNPCL. Stay with us.